Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus, as we are into our second week in the summer season, where I believe tomorrow we have the Luau, which is going to give us a fantastic opportunity to increase our friendship relationship with a lot of the villagers, which of course is one of my main aims for the summer. I know I've been saying that I've wanted to do it for a little while. I've just been incredibly ADD and scatterbrained, and not managed to achieve that. Because, you know, and so, well, I say you know, if you are like myself and a reasonably recent diagnosis of the thing, you find out that you can't focus on stuff and you get really easily distracted and it's really annoying. It does mean, however, that when I actually do focus on something, it's great. But as you can see, I'm just quickly going to grab some more of the animal byproducts and animal resources at the moment, because one of the things that I do also need to do is go and explore into the cave system of the Skull Cave system of the desert to try and achieve a greater number of, well, a greater amount of all of the general resources in that I need Prismatic Shards. Now, that's going to be something that's going to be troubling me for a little while, I think. I need them. I don't really know where I'm gonna get them otherwise. And it'll sound really stupid, but it's something that I just really need. And part of it really makes it kind of frustrating. Because I have a theory where I can get some, and it's the large quantity of omnigeodes that I do have. I don't honestly know if they actually do have a chance of dropping them, and I do kind of need to have an experiment and see. So I'm going to clear out an inventory, maybe the beginning of next week, if I don't find any more in the next few days, and just see if that works. I just need 2 more. I've got 2 already. But otherwise, I do have a couple of other tasks that need to be done. One of which being that I need to get as much stone as possible, because the stone requirements is a thing. For I need 1,000 stone for one of the Robin quests. And I also need to just try to make sure that I can gather as much of the yams and finish off the cooking requests. Well, the cooking list to allow me to complete the cooking as a general whole thing. And that's going to be maybe not the trixiest thing, but it's going to be annoying. Just making sure that I have all of those, because I know I've got most of the cooking recipes done. I've just got the 2 that I need to do, which involves catching a flounder as well. But there are a few other cooking recipes that I don't have access to as yet, and I do kind of need to find out what they are, how I get them. And I believe it's all friendship related, because I've purchased all the recipes that I've seen, but I don't know. Now, one of the things that I am going to do come Monday, as in the next in the week of Stardew, not actually Monday coming, because who knows when that actually is. It could be an ethereal, ephemeral item. Yeah, I'm going to try and go through all of the resources that I need to make all of the so I need to work through that. I need to get all the craftable items and try and figure out where am I going to get them all, and what do I actually need to make the all the craftable items, such as the signs, the flooring, all of that stuff. Now, I don't think that's going to be too impossible to do. It doesn't feel like it's particularly unreasonable, and I think I can probably have that figured out soon enough. And that's kind of the big thing for me, as I want to again work towards the areas of perfection that I can actually reasonably achieve, and that's one of them, because I don't feel that's too difficult to manage. But anyway, so we're back here in the cave systems of the desert in Skull Caves. Now, I do obviously need to try and get deeper into the cave system to try to get the prismatic shards, because the deeper you go, the easier they seem to be to find. So that's kind of the main aim on that front. So I don't think it's going to be, again, too difficult to actually achieve. It's just how much time can I justifiably sink into it? Because I know I've been spending a lot of time working on the farm to gather money. And as quite rightly pointed out by Carnwolf, it's really not because I'm trying to get the house upgrade for Pam. It's because I'm trying to get the house upgrade for Penny. And I think that's a nice-ish way of looking at it, in that I'm not fond of the character of Pam. I know I'm not. And it's not a great thing for sort of me to be able to admit that I just don't like a character. But it is true, unfortunately. I just don't like her. Yes, I'm sure she's got some redeemable features, but I don't feel there are that many. So I'm going to work my way through and do the best I can for her. And I need 500,000 for that. It's not an unreasonable amount to ask, I don't think. It's just I need to get it somehow. And once I gather the 500,000, I've already got the wood, that's not a problem. Once that's done, then I need the next community upgrade is the shortcuts that are then built into Pelican Town as part of the Stardew Valley, which is really going to be very handy, because that'll allow me to bypass a lot of fiddly, annoying parts and routes, which is something I'm really looking forward to, because it'll just make life easier. But I believe that's also about 500,000 guinea pigs as well, so we will see on that front. I don't believe it'll be too difficult to achieve, it's just going to take a little bit of time. I think is probably the best way of kind of putting it. Is it's going to take time and effort and involvement, but that's not the end of the world. But whilst I'm in here, I think I kind of want to just quickly heal up after battling all of the dinosaurs, and I kind of want the dinosaur egg, even though I've already got the dinosaur and I'm not too worried about that. It's one of those things that actually having it wouldn't hurt. More than anything, that's kind of what I'm after. Is this a good idea? Is it really going to be a bad idea? Versus, what am I doing? And why am I doing it? Which I don't think is a terribly unreasonable thing to sort of think about. Like, is there a method behind the madness? Which there always is, apparent with me. So, we're going to quickly mine our way through these rocks and get further down we can. Now, we're only on floor 15, so I'm kind of hoping for more of the holes in the ground, which I can just leap down, because, again, that's really where the money lies, is the shortcuts down to the bottom floors. Now, of course, I know there is no actual bottom. Well, there might actually be a definitively, you can't go any further than that, and I would assume that's probably something like floor 999. Maybe that's something to have a look at. I mean, the time would be the issue with that one, because, I mean, surely there's a way of, like, cheating the game and actually freezing time to actually see, but I haven't really looked into that, because, again, even the mods I've got, as I mentioned in the previous video, it's just for graphical side of things. Yeah, there's a few other things that I'd like to do. I got some of them working, but I just couldn't quite. But anyway, as you can see, I've got lots of general detritus in the way for stone that just needs to be quickly grabbed and got out of the way. Not the end of the world. So we're going to work our way deeper. And the thing is, there are a couple of the community requests that I don't think I've actually done yet, mostly because they haven't been offered. So that's going to be something that I'm going to sort of consider as well at the moment, is what other community offerings are there that I've not done, and how am I going to do them. and what's the actual end game reward for it, because some of them do give you like really useful things like gaining access to the solar panels, which is a really cool and useful device. And again, that's something that I do need to make a bunch more of and try and have a solar farm in the desert because of money spinning reasons, and don't think that's particularly unreasonable, trying to figure out other innovative ways of making cash money, because I've only got I've got until the end of this year, end of year 3, to try to get the 10 million I need to then make the golden clock. I say purchase the golden clock. So I need to figure that one out. As of course, I don't want to not have the golden clock, because that will prevent me from getting perfection. I think I've got all the golden walnuts, because I've definitely fished most of them up. Well, I've fished all the ones up that are physically out there, I believe. I just need to check, because that's going to be a big consideration, is like, have I actually got everything that I physically can for the time being? So I am going to have to go and visit Mr. Key anyway when I hand in those prismatic shards to him, but I do need to sort of figure out what else I can do from that, because as well as the prismatic shards being a thing, I need to see what the current status of my working towards perfection is, and I believe the cat statue there gives you that information. So that's something I'm looking at the moment. Now, that was quite a selection of iridium, which is lovely. Because again, more iridium isn't a terrible thing. I mean, the bars are going to be handy for turning into the iridium ring that I need to make, as well as the fertilizer. Because does mean that I do need to go back into the regular mines, because I've currently set them to be on hard mode for the radioactive ore. But for now, I do need the iridium as well. Why did I think I needed radioactive ore for that? I don't. I don't need radioactive ore for making that. I need the radioactive ore to make the magic bait. That's what I need that for. Goodness gracious, Walrus. Try and think about what you're saying before you say it. Yeah. I'm painfully aware I'm an idiot, don't worry. Yes, so what I do need is sap. I need 40 sap a time, and that's frustrating. And I do think I should probably plant a bunch of the mahogany trees to replace some of the oak ones, because I've got a lot of oak trees in my tapper department. Now, as far as I'm aware, the heavy tapper only doubles the speed at which the tapper produces. I don't believe it produces more of it. So I am going to try and run a test by grabbing what's available. So I've got to get a heavy tapper and a regular tapper and test both of them with a mahogany tree and see whether there's a variance on how much is produced. And I can always run that test on Ginger Island, because that's another opportunity, isn't it? I could just plant a bunch of mahogany trees in the grasses out of the farmland itself, and then just crack the tappers on those. That might work. That might actually work out really well. I think that's going to be yeah, I think I should try that. Because I wonder how well that's going to work. Okay, I've essentially confused myself, but I've given myself an idea. So I think that trying that isn't going to be a bad plan. I feel that actively trying to use all of the land that I have on Ginger Island as effectively as possible it's not exactly a bad idea, is it? So that's going to be my next possible plan. See what I can do with the Ginger Island farm. Now, of course, it's going to be a big area of land that I've not used, but there's opportunities for trying out things. I don't know whether it's just because essentially I've sort of shot myself in the foot with using the high ridge farm layout, the mountainous farm, because it does reduce the amount of land you have freely available. And it was useful at the beginning of the game, but actually late game, it's kind of a hindrance, which is a shame. And I know that it's not like it's the end of the world. I'm not like really trying to crave the, oh, I must optimize absolutely everything. It's just, I've got to try and figure it out. And it is the only one of the farm layouts that I've never actually tried. So it was the logic behind that when I created the farm. But hey ho, we'll work this one through, as I have other plans going forwards. Once I achieve perfection, there's still plenty more that I would like to do with the farms, with Stardew Valley, because of course there is. Why would there not be? Stardew Valley is a great game, and there's loads to it. And of course, I've still got to do the 1.6 update bits. So I'm going to get the farm to perfection as quickly as possible. When the 1.6 update drops, then I'm going to have to look at and see whether that actually makes a difference. Like what extra I'm going to have to do. Because there's definitely going to be something else that I'm going to have to do with the farm. Don't know what it is, but there's definitely going to be something. What extra crops I'm going to grow. So that probably will mean I'll do a full year run extra of like the season of madness. I'm working through that. Okay, so we've dropped another 5 levels, so that's good. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's just quickly eat some salmon berries. I didn't realise how low my health had got at that point. That wasn't good. Well, that's annoying. Okay, so there's another iridium, so maybe that's going to give me a prismatic shard, because again, I just want the prismatic shards, please and thank you. That's literally the only reason I'm here. I kind of wish I hadn't given them away as much. I know I used them as a gift during the Feast of the Winter Star, because I couldn't really think of what Alex's favourite gift was. I genuinely didn't think about it. So I kind of shot myself in the foot. So I'm a little bit annoyed at myself on that one. But at the same time, that's the blessings of hindsight. It'd only be 1 extra. So I do need more of them. And of course, unfortunately, it's shocking enough being that they're so valuable, as in, you know, useful. Of course, I can't just put one of those in the crystallarium to make more of them, which is perfectly legitimate and fair, because that's a little bit silly to just crystallarium your way up through prismatic shards, especially considering I've got a couple of them. I think there are other ways of getting more of them, so I think that's maybe something I should also do, is have a shed that is the mineral shed and put like crystallariums and like the furnaces in there. I'll just have to remember to check in there, because I am an absolute slacker to actually find, I mean, maybe find something useful in there. But we'll have to give that a go. Now, moving on, we've still got lots of annoyances that are occurring here. We've still got lots of irritating things to blend my way through, which we still need to kind of figure out. It's not like the end of the world level of annoying, but it is, you know, something I need to sort of figure out. Okay, so we're going to kill this thing, possibly by accidentally whacking it with a mining pick. Okay, we're coming up to 10 past 12 now, so I think really I can only justify trying one more floor, if anything. That's not the end of the world, it's just somewhat slightly irksome, because that's all I can really get away with, justifiably. So we'll give it a try. and see where we can get to. Okay, so let's kill this thing. Murderize that thing. Okay, so we're coming up to almost 1 o'clock. I think really 1:30 is the absolute deadline time for me to teleport back home. Because, well, 1:30 is, well, almost too late to try to get back into bed. So it's 1 a.m. Let's deposit the gubbins that we've acquired. And sadly, it wasn't much. I mean, yeah, okay, we've got some more iridium, so we're going to have 10 more bars, which is nice. And we've got some more quartz, which, again, I need lots of because I need to make more of the lightning rods. I need to make more of the flower pots. So, again, it's useful. It's just not super useful, which is a shame. Now, the food resource that I'm going to use tomorrow at the Luau is going to be some goat's cheese. Now, it needs to be gold quality goat's cheese. Can't get away with the basic stuff because the gold quality is considered the best for, well, gold or iridium really, is considered the best for the end result that you're after. Which, shockingly enough, is, of course, that you want the highest relationship increase with all of the villagers. Now, the luau, I believe, starts around midday. I could be wrong on that one, but I don't think it's that far off of that. So I do need to essentially have a look at that one. Okay, so it's 6 a.m. now. We've, as the day always starts at 6, and we're going to try and figure out what can we do for this morning. So we've got ourselves an Omnigeode from the doohickey, so that's kind of cool, kind of nice and helpful. But just checking the wines and such. I don't think anything's going to be ready, which is a shame. Now, as of course was pointed out to me, that it's not really a good idea to use the fairy rose to try and, well, the fairy powder specifically, to try to force what am I trying to say? The force the aging, because it's not economically viably that good, which is a shame. Because I thought it might be a sneaky ish way of getting that to work, but sadly no. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by that fact, but it's just how things go, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to head on over now because that's what we need to do, and see what else we can kind of achieve. Right, so yeah, nothing in there definitely. Okay. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we can do in the farmhouse. Not today, at least. So we're going to start cracking our way through all the general resources that we have here. And see what we can kind of achieve. Now, I'm going to have a quick check in the animal barn, because I do have all of the cheese presses that are, have been going for the last little while. Going to grab these eggs, turn that into mayonnaise. Again, just for money reasons. There's no real other logic behind it, is there? It's just, I don't need mayonnaise for anything. I've got a bunch of mayonnaise in the fridge anyway for cooking recipes. And I don't believe there's many that need mayonnaise anyway. I think, maybe coleslaw does? Which would make sense, I believe. I mean, coleslaw needing mayonnaise makes sense to me. But that's something, actually, I do enjoy making a homemade coleslaw with red cabbage rather than white cabbage, because red cabbage just has a slightly more tangy flavour, and it also just looks nicer, I think, is the best way of kind of putting it. It just looks more interesting, because, you know, is that not what you want as part of your general cookery? Something that looks fun and looks nice. I don't know. Anyway. So we're going to grab these batteries from the most recent storm from yesterday, which again wasn't like super, super bad. It was just a storm. It's just how that goes. Okay, so our eels are good. Is there anything else that we can do for that? It's a bit of a moot point, really, sometimes. Not so much, really, sadly. Okay. More batteries. Again, useful, but not like turbo useful right now. And we've got quite a bit of food, actually, other than just the spicy eel, which is the main food that I'm kind of using at the moment. Now, believe that you just head towards the beach. I don't know if you actually need to go into town to teleport to the Luau. It's one of those finicky things that I forget where a lot of the events, sort of like their trigger point is, and where they start, because there are quite a few different events, and they do need you to go to certain places to actually start them. Who would have guessed? But I always forget where those exact trigger points are. Okay, so it looks like we actually need to go into the town itself. So I'm going to cut this tree down just because it exists. And therefore it annoys me. Okay, so it looks like we actually do need to go further in than I was expecting. Not the end of the world. It's just we've got to go to the beach itself. Again, not a problem. So, where can we get to? We're going to grab this quest here. So this is where I mentioned earlier, because I film everything earlier, I totally forgot that, yes, I haven't picked up that quest until today. So I'm going to go into Ginger Island and smash up a bunch of rocks for that one. Now, so the luau has begun. The mayor is there, as is the governor of the local area. And he's going to tell us that the lovely soup is fantastic, because it will be. I'm not putting the mayor's underwear in it, because that's a hilarious result, but I'm not doing it. Not this time, at least. As much as I would very much enjoy doing that to upset the mayor, because he is a weird old sausage, being the term that I've decided to use for him. He is just a bit strange with his odd requests, his weird relationship with Marnie, and I do genuinely feel for the lady, because like they're clearly enamored with each other. Anyway, so yes, we've all put some lovely ingredients in, and let's see what our lovely governor thinks. It feels like it's a school by calling it a governor. It's not a word that I would say is in particularly common parlance in the UK, at least, when it comes to land or areas. Like, yeah, okay, we've got a town mayor in like the town near to where I live, and we definitely had one in the town I grew up in. But a governor? That seems very archaic. So I'm not sure if that's... I mean, hey, again, my lovely American viewers, please, do you have governors in your regions? Because it seems weird. It might just be a me thing, being confused. But it sounds strange. It could be very wrong, and it could be very normal. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? I mean, it's like I don't spout some random nonsense every now and again. Definitely happens. Can't say anything on that one. Okay, so what else have we got here? Well, that's just going to grab what I've got available, really, at the moment. There's not much else I can say on that one, is there? Sadly. Okay, so I'm going to grab a few more batteries out of the... off of the lightning rods. Again, nothing super exciting on that side of front, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a big thing, isn't it? I've just got trying to figure out what's going to be the most effective and most efficient use of my time and resources, you know, and what works out to be the best. So I'm just going to throw all my stuff away. Going to turn the fish into fertilizer. That's a thing. Yeah. What next, though? Okay, so let's plant this random wild seed here. Now, this area just south of the Junimo Hut is kind of my who knows sort of area. As weird as that might sound, it's very much the I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it area. Like, yes, there's a lot of useful resources that I could put there, but it's a small plot of land, and actually having the mixed, like the random wild seeds going in there is probably the best result I can kind of figure out for that. Because, well, what else am I going to do with it all? As, again, weird as it might sound, I don't honestly know. But anyway, so look at all of this lovely ancient fruit wine. I think I'm going to replace the stock of other wine that I've got in the house. Like, the starfruit wine's all well and good, but do I need all of it? No, not really. I could probably sell it. I could probably sell a bunch of the ancient fruit wine as well, because I'm producing enough wine, some to be aged, some to just be sold. And maybe I should only keep a stock of about 100 of the ancient fruit wine. Maybe? I don't think I need more than that, do I? Honestly thinking about it. So yeah, that's going to be a thought process on that one, isn't it? I've just got to kind of figure out, is that going to be like the best thing I can do with it? So yeah, let's work that one out for me. And what's the game plan for that one? Oh my goodness, look at all of these preserves. Oh, it's 10 past 1 already. Oh my goodness, I'm eating my time. This is not good. Oh no, I need to figure this out. This isn't good. Oh, fiddlesticks. Oh, all the fiddlesticks and buncombe. Drat. Okay, right, no, I'm just gonna go back to the house. Not gonna faff, not gonna worry. Yeah. I'm gonna sort that out later. There's no ifs and no buts on that one. I don't have the opportunity now, really. Okay, so gonna call it there for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, please do like, share, and subscribe, as of course they're always useful to have extra numbers being added. And please do leave comments. Once again, thank you. Hopefully I'll catch you again the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.